welcome to the Cryptonaut podcast. My name is Mark Storrs, and I'm joined by Christopher Carnicelli.
Hi again.
Hello, Christopher.
Hi.
And Robert Thomas Morphy II.
Indeed.
I almost always call you the third.
I feel like a third.
Okay, well, you're just Robert Thomas
You
Morphy
can
II.
be the third if you want.
In my mind, because of Thurston Howell III,
Right,
of
that's
Gilligan's
why.
Island eminence, thirds are always the inheritors of millions. So I always had this idea in my head, I'm definitely going to, when I was a little kid, name my son Robert III because he's going to be rich by default, ergo I will get rich. And to my 6-year-old self, that was fucking pristine logic. I do not have a son. I am scant millions, but...
I like
but
it.
hey, life's not over yet. Who
You
knows?
got to dress for the part, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
Just reinvent yourself and then just call yourself the third.
I'm just going to tell all the ladies, hey, if you want to get rich, let's make a boy. Game of Thrones style.
Oh, boy.
I love daughters. I love girls.
Just say,
Don't get me
just
wrong.
say, give me money. Just give me money.
I'll name her Robert III. It doesn't have to be a boy.
Nice.
That's
Robert
true.
III. Perfect.
And
Hey,
if you happen to be rich, well, then it's all built in.
yeah, there it is.
And I make fine curry. I keep a pretty piss poor house, but I try to up my game.
You're good. Yeah,
That's my resume. I'll tell you about monsters.
That's my
Full fucking res right there.
This is your Tinder profile. I love it.
The worst. Oh,
Hope you like crawl.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Glaive references.
Gonna be
Boy.
Gonna be a whole lot of crawl. So before we get started here, we have some announcements, some Patreons, but I want to give a very special shout out to my beautiful wife, Nicole,
Oh, yeah.
because today is our anniversary.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I knew.
I knew it was coming up. I know we suck. We're shitty friends.
We are-
Happy anniversary,
Thank
Mark.
you.
I remember
Thank you. Yes,
nothing.
we are actually recording this on October 3rd, which is was by the time this comes out. It's later, but it doesn't matter. The reason I want to thank her, though, is because she does so much for me at home to allow me to do this show.
Oh, my
and she
God.
carries a huge burden when I'm not around, and she takes the brunt of all my shit when I'm in the fucking basement screaming about stuff. And she's like, no, Marky, I understand. Thanks. So
She is the best.
she is my fucking backbone for everything, including this show.
Yep.
So happy anniversary, Nick.
That is the sweetest. And it's too bad she'll never hear it. But boy, that was a
Right?
beautiful
No, she
testimonial.
is far too busy listening to the last podcast on
Even
the
though
left.
you're constantly
Right.
smoked and shot, according to Mark. Constant
No.
state of
Oh,
smoked.
yeah.
Thank
Congrats
God.
to Nick.
Thank God she's cool. And yeah, she does not listen to this because she is listening to the last podcast on the left, so that's fine. Whatever, I love that show too. But for our anniversary, as we always want to do, we went to the Fright Nights in Syracuse.
Oh, nice.
Which is at the cool haunted house
Sure,
thing.
sure.
So if anyone in the area is listening to this, definitely check out the Syracuse Fright Nights. It's fucking awesome. Our anniversary, that's what we do.
How many years now?
Of course.
13 married and together 15.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I was lucky enough to be there the night you two met. And your wedding was a blast.
Yeah, it was
but
fun,
it
man.
blows my mind that it's 13 years.
Yeah. What
Holy
the fuck,
crap. That
man?
was a great wedding, though.
Yeah, no, it was fun. Yeah, 2009 went like nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Charlie's 11 and Evelyn's 8, and like, wow, that shit goes quick.
Like butter.
So thank you, Nicole, and yes, everyone, check out the Fright Nights because on our anniversary, that's what we do, and it's fucking super fun. And she's the one that's like, it's our anniversary, we're going to haunted houses. I'm like, yes, you fucking rule. So super good time. And real quick announcement here coming up, movie night on Discord.
So excited.
Are you ready, Christopher? October 21st, Friday, October 21st.
Snap.
8:30 Eastern Standard Time, New York time.
8:30.
8:30.
Oh, it's interesting. It's almost like
It's almost
like,
always
it's
8:30.
no. What's great about it being 8:30 is that it's like you can say like 8, but you still have time to get your popcorn and your shit together
Yeah.
because it doesn't start till 8:30.
And we are watching
True.
Prince of Darkness.
Fucking A.
Yeah,
I'm
it
in.
is. So if you are on the Patreon, hook up your Discord, check it out. It's going to be a good time. Speaking of Patreon, Robert, let's do some shout-outs.
I saw that coming, but that was a great segue.
Definitely. I lost the thread for a second. I had to figure out how to get back there.
Oh, you did it.
Yeah, I was going to keep talking about my wife.
No, God bless.
But I just kept
Hey,
going
I'd
with
be
that.
willing to sit back.
Hey guys, Nicole. Hey guys, Nicole.
First off, we're thanking Nicole Stores for obvious reasons.
Yeah, and
yes.
for showing us her boobs at one time.
Oh my God.
When Charlie was breastfeeding, and he could walk and do math, and he came in and just.
I will never
yanked
forget
that
it.
shirt.
Not just because
Yanked
tits,
it.
but it was just like, did that just fucking happen?
When we were potting in your
Oh my
kitchen.
God, dude.
Yeah.
I still bring that up. It's so funny. Oh, I when Charlie's old enough, I'm definitely going to tell. Well, he's old enough now, but whatever. It's hilarious that he's able to walk and just pull her shirt up and just go for it.
No, she set him down and he grabbed onto her shirt.
Yeah, and then
just
just-
ripped it in fucking half.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is fucking intense,
Dude,
like,
He was a strong
just
baby.
right in half, fucking Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, no,
Tits everywhere.
he-
I'm like, this cannot be real.
it's everywhere. Oh shit! Oh, and that is why my wife is awesome.
Okay.
Continuing on with the Patreon shout-outs.
Kayla Metzger,
Hell yeah, Kayla.
Charlotte Renee,
What up, Charlotte?
Jim Noggle,
Jim, thank you.
Billy Lawson,
Hell yeah, Billy.
oh, crime fighter, bounty hunter, better yet,
I love
bounty hunter Billy Lawson. That's your wrestling name, sir. Josh Creasy,
What up, Josh?
Suzanne,
Thank you, Suzanne.
Luke Forshaw,
Thank you, Luke.
attorney at law,
Nice.
Texas. Kim Hendrickson,
Thank you, Kim.
and someone getting their buck's worth. Special Agent Bat Squatch from Home Base Cthulhu, a.k.a. Sean from Deadwood.
Oh, nice.
Dang.
That's a hell of a name right there. Thank
I like
y'all.
it.
Your continued Patreon support, patreon.com/Cryptonaut podcast, if you'd like to get some bonus audio content, because we have a fuck ton of it.
All right,
Like,
settle down.
Every week I get the Patreon together and I put it up and I do all this shit and I'm like, God damn, we really got that many Patreon episodes? Like
We do.
It's like 130 something maybe.
No shit, we have that many already.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how many we have actually. It's every week I look at the count and I'm like, God damn, it's a lot.
We practically are doubling the size.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Patreon catalog, I mean, this week's is going to be 132. So
Tra.
check all that out there this week. Ooh, dogs versus aliens.
Yes.
Are we talking about
This week.
this
Yeah.
week?
You said,
dogs.
yeah.
Dude, are we talking about good boys?
We're talking about good boys.
Oh, good boys. I love a good
but not
boy.
Pappins of the Sea.
Okay, all right, fine.
But it is the nominal sequel to our award-winning, pending, for awards to be won.
Dogs versus
Dogs
monsters.
versus Monsters.
There you
Oh,
go.
I thought it was fish.
No, dogs
This
versus
is the sequel
fish.
to our episode on fish. This
Could
one's
you imagine?
dogs.
Oh man. Let's get started with in Dogs versus Monsters, we chronicled some of the most bizarre and terrifying encounters ever witnessed between humankind's beloved canine companions and all matter of vexatious varmints. Now, in this episode, we pull back the covers of paranormal lore even further to bring you some of the strangest and most unnerving tales of dogs versus aliens.
There it is.
Oh.
Versus
boy.
fish
Oh, can't wait.
versus mollusks.
Monitor lizards.
Oh,
Oh
yes.
my God. Mollusk v. Tremaine.
Oh,
Les
Reptilicus.
Tremaine. Great actor.
Reptilicus.
Jesus Christ.
That's awesome. All right, Bobby, what do we got,
It's a
buddy?
terrible movie. But what we have here is a fun pod, I think.
All right.
Anyone who wants to hear my love letter to dogs should go back to episode 251, DV Monster, because there's no need to repeat or rewrite it here. I love them. They're man's best friend. They're woman's best friend. They're probably alien's best friend,
Dogs.
except for not some of the aliens we're going to deal with here today.
Dogs rule.
They're fucking pretty awesome. Suffice it to say, the lovable pooch has been a mainstay of humanity in general since a time immemorial. And as such, when we encounter beings that lurk on the peripheries of commonplace reality, often they do too. Here are but a few of these encounters, this time focusing on evidently extraterrestrial interactions. Our first case hails from Rosedale, a suburb of Alberta, Canada, and was first investigated by Canadian ufologist and Aerial Phenomenon Research Organization representative William K. Allen.
Was that the organization I had a problem with? I was like, your name sucks.
I don't remember.
Okay, good.
It is
No,
Coral
yeah.
Lorenzens,
Okay.
very famous organization, pre-MUFON,
Okay,
I believe.
didn't know if I had to apologize or not.
No, I don't think so.
Because fucking I ain't, so.
Wow. There
Wow,
it is.
Dang.
All right, William K. Allen, Canadian ufologist. According to Allen's report, at approximately 5:50 p.m. on the evening of June 7th, 1971, Esther Clappison, love you, Esther, noticed a bright white light coming through her window, which faced what ought to have been an empty field. Esther, according to Patrick Gross and his inestimable URCAT, or UFO-related entities catalog, and you need to get there, ufology, French spelling, .org, fantastic, was a woman of average age who shared a house with her brother Bill. Clearly more courageous than prudent, Esther made her way out into the moonlit night to see what was going on, accompanied by her aged yet ever faithful pup, George. To her eternal surprise, Esther observed a, quote, luminous object of a rectangular form, end quote, resting in her field some 200 feet away. From the angle she was standing, Esther assumed that the rectangle was about 20 feet long and less than 10 feet deep. On the side of the object was an open rectangular portal that was emitting the brilliant light that had initially attracted her attention. As her eyes simultaneously adjusted to the outer darkness and the object's interior light, Esther was now able to see inside the geometric craft and was stunned when she spied a pair of what she determined to be masculine humanoid figures about 5.5 feet tall.
Oh, just get some swanky shit right here.
It's where the
like,
space swingers show up. And,
I mean, it's
hey,
not
boys.
too crazy so far. It's a rectangle, some fuckers hanging out.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Like,
dude,
it's nothing
there you
crazy.
go.
yeah, I mean, it's a glowing
the whole thing's
rectangle
kinda
in your
cray,
field.
You know, muscular human dudes. We'll see.
Well, masculine.
Or
No one said they were muscular.
What?
I mean, if you want to
See
build
what
your
he's
fantasy
doing?
up, yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Right.
I'm hoping. I'm pulling for her. Okay.
A pile of little Ferrignos hanging out.
Oh, little Luz.
Little
That'd
Luz.
be adorable.
Well, actually, he's probably about that height,
I
isn't he?
know. It's not a floating Gold's Gym.
I'm pulling for her.
to work? Esther, you want to work out?
Fuck, check it out. My
Reps.
Fucking lats.
She further noted that these entities were clad head to toe in grayish olive green diver-like suits that even covered their faces, and that their arms terminated in extremely narrow wrists. It's got to be real narrow because wrists are already fucking narrow to notice this at 200 feet, with hands that were covered in what she referred to as pointed mittens, revealing unnaturally long, thin thumbs.
What the fuck?
Like kind of Pascagoula Deluxe, you know?
Oh. Well, she was hoping to get lucky. She definitely is not now. She's
They
like,
might
fucking
know how to
gross.
use those thumbs.
Dude, no,
oh,
those
sure, they're
thumbs
gross, but
they're
who knows?
grotesque.
Love is blind.
No, it's not. If you see someone with a really weird fucking thumb, you're gonna be like, I'm not fucking them. Yeah.
Well,
I just don't think she's looking for that at all. I mean,
I love how Chris defends Esther's virtue.
there's no reason that she would be.
I'm pulling for her, dude. I'm pulling for her.
You're pulling for her to get
Okay,
laid?
that's
Is that what
Good
you're pulling for?
her.
Okay.
This is her time. This
I
is
mean,
Esther's
she's not
time.
necessarily a fucking spinster in classical definition. She's
Same,
just a
man.
woman of average age who lives with her bro.
Same. She's looking for love.
Yeah.
Maybe she needs some thumb love. Who knows?
I just don't know why you think that's what she's going for here.
Stranger still, Esther was now able, to discern that they had keyhole-shaped apertures where their eyes ought to have been.
Ooh, that's weird.
Black circle with a little black rectangle coming down.
Okay,
That's
sure.
Doctor Who shit.
Yeah.
That's the Sandown ghost clown shit right there.
It's a little off.
All right.
Suddenly, one of the beings in the portal seemed to realize they were being observed and appeared to be using his body and arm to conceal what Esther surmised was some sort of control panel. Don't you fucking look at my panel, bitch. What the fuck are you doing?
All right. Well, I mean,
Human eyes on my panel?
yeah. God damn it. All right.
This entity made a gesture at the second, who wasted no time in leaning through the portal and excitedly motioning, not to the human witness, but to a third, heretofore unseen, olive-clad figure who was stooping over to collect rock samples off the ground less than 20 feet away from the object.
Goddamn
Rock samples.
aliens and their rocks
They
and their
fucking-
weird fucking thumbs.
They love it.
Come in here. God damn it.
Collecting rocks. They always
I
do.
know, I'm not buying it. I feel like there's something more than that. I'm not buying it.
Minerals, dude. They're harvesting minerals.
I'm not buying it.
I don't know. If Earth is really the galactic hard drive that the Dub No Abductors professor seemed to indicate that it is, maybe every rock, every bit contains some sort of information, and what they're basically doing is hacking. But like kids collecting fucking rocks for a general collection.
They're just
I
stealing
think
hard
there's
drive
one
space.
special thing, and it could be in any rock on Earth.
Oh my God,
And
like
they're
a
just
golden
looking for it.
ticket.
Oh,
Yeah, something.
yeah. All right, cool.
It's a mystery.
A diode.
Diode.
Something. A diode.
Okay. It was at this point that Esther abruptly noticed that the humanoids had no curves visible at their elbows or knees. It was as if they all moved with inconveniently stiff, almost Frankenstein's monster-like motions. So kind of like the Silver Man of Risley.
Yeah, okay.
Just stiff-ass robot,
Weird.
jointless aliens, who the fuck knows? Fascinated, Esther began slowly approaching the craft and its occupants, but it was then that her loyal friend George stepped in. Although the canid was cowering and trembling in undisguised terror, it still had the moxie to block Esther's path and prevent her from getting any closer to the object. Trembling and whining, the canine companion pushed his mistress back toward the house. Trusting in George's instincts, Esther rushed back inside to wake her brother so he could see this astonishing display for himself. Alas, in the few minutes that elapsed between her departure and return, the illuminated object was nowhere to be seen, as is too often.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
the case.
Thanks, George. Good fucking job.
But the following day, when Esther and Bill went out to look at the spot where she'd seen the object, they discovered that the site had a rectangular, charred black patch that was approximately 20 by 7 feet, essentially the size that the eyewitness estimated that the
It's
craft
pretty
was.
close.
Yeah. 4 months later, jump ahead,
Oh,
Whoa,
wow.
Jesus.
when the aforementioned APRO investigator William K. Allen visited the landing site, the dark patch was still clearly evident, and it was surmised that to create such a mark, the vegetation would have had to have been exposed either to the heat of a forest fire or to an enormous amount of radiation.
Oh, you got that radiation grass. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Could it be that George sensed the danger, either in confronting the ostensibly alien interlopers or in the radiation evidently emanating from their vehicle, and despite his own fear, did everything in his power to save Esther from a confrontation that may have left her irradiated, abducted, or even worse?
Good boy steps in and says no.
There it
There
is.
you go. That's the moral of that. Dog says, nope, you ain't doing it.
So sometimes your dog,
All right.
despite its terror, is your bestest buddy in the whole wide world, and it's
Yeah.
like, fuck no. Listen, I could leave you. I could run and hide. I could be
Yeah,
safe.
They ain't going to
But
do
you
that.
acting like a crazy motherfucker right now, and you have to go back in and not be here.
Dude, and he did it. Good for him. Good on you, George.
Mhm.
You're a good boy.
There it is.
Maybe.
Thus ending her
Maybe.
fucking menage a ET that could have happened,
You know?
thumbs included.
There you go. Oh, dude, thumbs. Ugh,
Thumbs ahoy.
awful.
Our next case comes to us from a mysterious organization, at least in terms of my Google searching abilities, known as Horry Aspinall and Darren Mitchell UFO Research Incorporated.
Oh, my God. What?
That's,
Yeah,
that's
I know.
okay. This is a tax evasion thing, ain't it?
It has to be.
Yeah,
That's a
okay.
shelter.
Okay, cool. Definitely.
And shows us that not all canine ET interactions have a negative connotation to them. The event took place on May 30th, 1976 in Daw Park, an inner southern suburb of Adelaide, South Australia. At approximately 2 a.m., 17-year-old Trevor White was listening to music in his bedroom when suddenly his radio cut to a loud burst of static. At the same moment, his dog began barking in the backyard. Trevor glanced out the open window and was astonished by the sight before him. Standing about 30 feet away was a 5.5-foot tall humanoid figure clad in a silver one-piece suit with white boots. Strapped to the being's chest was a box-like object roughly 1 foot square onto which was emblazoned the number 8, or perhaps an infinity symbol. Unfortunately, the entity's head or facial features went undescribed. Perhaps they were obscured or too mundane to warrant description. And of course, the 8 instantly makes me think of the one of those crazy-ass Muppet attackers that came out of the closet when the kid was sick at his grandparents'
Oh, yeah,
house.
with the infinity symbol.
Pretending to be sick
Oh.
anyway,
Yeah,
pretending to sleep, and then their overalls, at least one of them, had an infinity symbol on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, generally, infinity symbol's the other way.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It was
Then an
described
8.
as a number 8. It was not. That's why I said perhaps an infinity
right,
symbol.
right.
Maybe it's just a
It wasn't
number 8.
horizontal. Yeah,
This guy could just be number 8.
Could
and
be.
That's it.
Yeah.
Or it could be infinity. Or who the fuck knows what it might mean in their language.
Weird alien symbols, dude.
8 could be 7, Mark.
Oh my
could
God.
Be 7.
An
8,
alien 8 is 7.
8 could be 5.
It could be 6.2.
Oh,
7,
shit.
18.
In 3/4? There you
Yeah.
go. It's my favorite 3/4. 5:30 seconds. That's the thing.
It is.
Yeah, think about it.
If you measure.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awful.
Whatever.
Yeah, there it is.
That's a terrible
Yeah, good job on period.
terrible unit.
5:30 seconds.
Let's do 5:30 seconds.
Great. No 5/18. No, I don't. Fuck.
Unlike some of the other cases we'll be dealing with, this entity seemed neither angered nor intimidated by the hectically barking dog. In fact, it gently patted the animal, then began approaching the window where Trevor was standing.
Okay, cool.
In an apparent effort to communicate with Trevor, it uttered a string of words that were, to the now terrified teen, utterly unintelligible. Trevor backed away to his bedroom door, and the being, perhaps sensing that its presence was causing the youth distress, ceased his approach and, without warning, suddenly shot up into the air like a comic book superhero. Boing! That's the sound effect I chose.
Yeah,
Yes.
no boing.
Yeah, boing!
All right.
Followed by a whoosh.
What do they want? God damn it. All right. All right.
His curiosity overcoming his fear, the Australian teen rushed to the window just in time to see the flying entity enter a silvery, metallic, cigar-shaped object that was floating just above some nearby trees.
Sons of bitchin' cigar crafts again.
Always. Well, saucers. Circles. Yeah, saucer circles and cigars.
Yeah.
Our new sub-fucking UFO podcast, because that's really the mainstay.
Tra.
The eyewitness noted that the hovering craft had an eerie green illumination at the top with a reddish glow near the rear. Suddenly, the object shot off into the distance, leaving the perplexed youth and his canine companion, which is a phrase I will continue to use during this piece, the only witnesses to this bizarre event. It should be noted that 3 days later, footprints and yellow patches of parched grass were discovered on the otherwise verdant lawn, though it's anybody's guess what this thing wanted. I mean, he's number 8, looks like an average 5'1.5" dude.
He pet the dog.
He pet the dog.
Yeah,
He's
which
like,
is-
which he could have been placating it with like its psychic skills, like,
Right.
you will not bite me no matter what evil shit I do. Or it could have just been like,
Yeah.
dog, nice.
Which the dog allowed
Right.
it, which is weird.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if...
Unless it was mesmered.
yeah. I mean, but
I mean,
Or it
some-
might have sensed that it was a good dude.
some dogs don't care if you pet them. Other dogs can't get near because they'll fucking bite your hands off.
Or it could have been an American from a
True.
secret UFO project, like a early version of the Solar Warden, and they're flying around, and he's got like a
Yeah.
number on his uniform, and because that's how they identify each other, by numbers, because they can't know each other's personal names or families or anything else, in case one of them's ever captured and might confess. And he's just an American dude coming down with a sweet jetpack, pets
Cool.
the dog. He's number 8. Maybe he's got some weird translation mechanism.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he thinks he's not in Australia and he's using a language of what he thinks. Like maybe he thinks he landed in New Guinea or something and he's trying, one of the indigenous dialects. Sounds, weird to the kid. He gets scared. He's like, gets scared. Flies back to the ship.
Just jetpacks
True.
away. Just pulls...
I guess it can be just some dope wire work too.
Yeah, but that's, the wire coming down. And how do you wire up the object? Like that's a lot of wire work. And where's the platform from which all of this is being done from?
I'm just saying the UFO's totally real. The guy might not have a jetpack. the guy might not have a jetpack. It might just be dope wire work.
Right on. Invisible bungee. I get
Yeah,
it.
they haven't got that far.
Oh my
yet.
God, that's hilarious.
They got the UFO,
That
but
makes
they're
perfect
like
sense.
jetpacks.
Fuck.
no, it's just going to be a wire. That's it.
Yeah, we just finished the warp engine. What do you want?
Yeah,
Just give me a
Wire
goddamn
work.
Boba Fett jetpack, you son of a
right.
bitch.
Or magnets.
Oh boy.
fucking-
So it always goes back to
there
the
it rears its
Yeah,
head.
there it is, magnets.
Those
How indeed, good
fucking
sir,
magnets.
do they work?
Our third
They
entry.
do.
Oh Jesus. Okay, let's continue the debate. Our third entry was culled from the Great Beyond Creepy YouTube channel, which we've just spoken about very recently, and tells of an even more harrowing close encounter. On September 18th, 1962, the Argentinian newspaper La Razón published an account about a family living in El Gapan, a town located in Salta province in northwestern Argentina, who claimed that both they and their dogs had a bizarre run-in with an entity that was apparently from out of this world. Sometime in mid-September, Andre Lopez, his wife, and their 3 children were just sitting down for a nice hot dinner when their world was suddenly turned upside down. The family was getting settled in for the meal when one of them noticed a bizarre figure standing in their yard about 15 feet away from the kitchen window. The Lopezes scrambled over for a better look at this mysterious intruder, but it didn't take them long to realize that the lanky figure standing on their lawn was not merely a tall trespasser, but something that was utterly inhuman. Though their description is frustratingly scant, what we do know is that the enigmatic entity stood nearly 10 feet tall and was clad in a silvery suit of some sort. That's it.
These silver fuckers.
I need.
God, these
I
suits,
know.
man. All right.
That,
all right.
the suit is consistent.
Shit. All right.
God, I want it to have a weird head.
It's kind
Big old lumpy head, like the thing that was outside the old folks' home. You know what I'm talking about?
Man, or
Last
no
week's
head.
pod.
Fucking no
head.
Yeah, no
A
head.
head that floats 3 feet above its body.
Yeah.
dude.
All head. Zardoz.
All head. Yeah, exactly.
A bunch
Just
of
the
Zardoz.
head.
Yeah.
Nice.
That would be
That would be grubby, but awesome.
That would be great if there was just random accounts of this head and it looked like it had a sweet like goatee, just floating around puking guns.
That really is full-on Zardoz.
Puking guns.
Monolithic
I
head
mean-
pukes guns.
Oh, shit.
Why?
Yeah, why not, I guess. Puke guns.
Within moments of being seen by the family, their dogs, which had been stationed outside, suddenly noticed the massive silver-clad monstrosity and began barking violently and bolted up to the creature, ripping at its clothes and flesh.
Good boys attack. There you go.
Without hesitation, Andre shot out of the kitchen, retrieved his rifle, and rushed outside to join his canine protectors.
I like this guy.
Andre fired at the unfathomable fiend, which, in front of his shocked family, suddenly vanished in front of them.
Phantasmagorical bullshit.
Mm-hmm. In the newspaper account, Andre would claim that the thing's disappearance was like some kind of magic trick.
Yeah, exactly.
Moments after the being was gone, Andre discovered that the hair on one of his valiant dogs had been inexplicably scorched. Burnt hair.
Okay. Well,
Burnt dog hair.
Okay, so far there's leftover burn things.
Yep.
Of
Yellow
silver things, leftover burned
lawn
stuff.
and footprint. Yep.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So we're getting a little something. Had Andre and his dog's decisive actions saved the Lopez family from a terrible fate, or were they merely harassing an innocent, though massively proportioned alien interloper? Perhaps we won't know until the ET warships arrive in another 20 years or so.
Right.
But frightening as this incident must have been for the Lopez family, there are other accounts which show just how dangerous these close encounters can actually be. Inarguably, one of the most terrifying encounters between an alien and man's best friend allegedly occurred sometime in 1963 in Juarez, Mexico. According to the account, a California family were visiting relatives in Juarez when, near the end of their stay, their son, a 15-year-old boy, who understandably remained anonymous in the published account, came down with the flu. That night, a big party had been planned at another cousin's home as a send-off for the visiting family, but it was determined that the teenager ought to remain behind and sleep so that he could recover in time for the return journey and, even in this less contagion-aware time, not infect everyone in the extended family with the flu. So it just makes sense. It's just good family etiquette. At some point in the middle of the night, the teen awoke with a start. He called out, but was met only with silence. It was then that he remembered that everyone else in his Uncle Francisco's house had gone to the party, and though the teenager's state of mind at this moment was not recorded, it would be easy to surmise that being sick and alone in a strange house in another country was a less than comforting feeling. One bright ray was that he was feeling much better than when he had fallen asleep. Still, with nothing else to do, he lay back down and decided to try and rest until his family returned. Just as he was drifting back to sleep, he was startled by the sounds of his cousin's dogs barking outside. He was about to pull a pillow over his ears to drown out the incessant noise, but he quickly realized that these weren't ordinary barks brought on by agitation over incursions by local wildlife. These were frantic yelps of excitement and maybe a little fear. Initially assuming it was a particularly giddy greeting for his homecoming family, the boy swiftly came to the conclusion that that wasn't the case due to the fact that the sounds were emanating from the backyard. It was then that he decided to get up and see what was going on for himself. The teenager cautiously approached the window and peeked outside. Although the night was dark, his uncle had erected a series of poles around the yard onto which were attached electric lights that illuminated the property. Beneath one of the lights on the other side of the yard, next to the fence, the kid could see that two of the agitated dogs seemed to have someone cornered in the flower bed. Fucking so much for
boy.
Aunt Petunia's azaleas.
Shit.
At first, the youthful witness believed that the dogs had managed to catch a would-be burglar. He watched as this odd interloper was trying to hold the enraged, slobbering canines at bay with his arms, quickly moving them out of the way when one lunged in to bite. That's a scary situation.
Okay.
Cornered by two dogs. I don't know how big they are or scary. I'm presuming that they're both. And just like trying to push him away, keeping your fingers
Yeah,
safe because you got him clenched in a fist, but moving. Oh, it just seems scary and yucky.
Well,
Yeah, what are you going to do?
you know.
It
Good.
was then that the perplexed teen realized that this quote-unquote person was silver in color, and even more amazingly, that it was glowing softly.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Odder still were the dark, almost Rorschach-like patches that were constantly moving up and down the length of its body. So it's got these dark patches moving up and down
And
its
glowing?
glowing
Okay.
silver body.
All right.
Pretty cool. Bizarre as the being's outlandish appearance might have been, the boy claimed that he didn't feel threatened and just kept watching as the eerily glowing entity ducked and weaved, doing its best to evade the claws and sharp teeth of the ferociously growling canines. Suddenly, one of the dogs dove for the humanoid's legs, while its companion leapt up, impacting against its torso and sending both sprawling to the ground. The boy watched in helpless horror as he saw the thing wave its arms in panic and distress. For some reason, the teenager felt a ball of terror expanding inside his stomach. He ran out of the bedroom and ducked into another room, cowering in the darkness, seemingly suffocating under the disturbing sounds of the mystifying melee outside. Then, without warning, an intense beam of blinding white light shot through the windows, illuminating all within the room, before just as suddenly extinguishing, leaving the world of the now terrified teen dark and shockingly silent. Unsure of what had caused the flash, and fearful for the now silent pets, the teenager managed to reclaim his courage and he crawled toward the nearest window. When he looked outside, he saw that both of the dogs and the seemingly self-illuminated humanoid were gone. It was then that his eyes were attracted by some strange lights moving toward some foothills in the distance. They were too low to be a plane, but too high off the ground to be a terrestrial vehicle. Fucking weird.
It was
UFO.
going.
Did they fucking take the dogs?
I don't know. The
Sons of
story's not over,
bitches.
Mark.
All right.
That's what they get, though.
No.
Wow.
No.
Don't attack things.
I hope they took the dogs into the spaceship and then the dogs in the spaceship fucking killed them all. Yeah.
They clearly blew up in the light.
You son of a bitch.
Don't attack Jesus and the flowers.
It's true.
All right.
Yeah,
Fucking
Rorschach-
Yahweh in the shed.
Rorschach Christ doesn't appreciate fucking your dogs getting all up in his shit like that.
Right.
Well, let's see what happened. Maybe they're still alive to this day.
Frightened out of his wits.
In
see.
space.
In space. Frightened out of his wits, the young eyewitness hid until his family finally returned, whereupon he told his father and uncle what he had seen. The men, seeing the genuine panic in the boy's eyes, swiftly went outside to survey the scene. They found that the flower bed in the backyard had been trampled in a way consistent with dogs attacking a larger, writhing animal. The intrepid duo also found several dead rabbits and chickens strewn about the area. Surprisingly, the carcasses showed no signs of physical trauma. They were simply, inexplicably dead. There were no signs of the dogs.
Ah, damn. All right. I'm holding out hope.
All of that would change the following day, when the bodies of the two dogs were discovered in a field several miles down the
Damn it.
road from the Francisco house. I'm sorry, Mark.
Them dog, you know what? Those dogs are not like fucking heroes. American heroes. In
Mexican
Mexico.
heroes.
That's fine.
American heroes and Mexican. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ. They're
there you
Mexican heroes. Let's just call it.
All right, fine.
But
Mexican
that
heroes.
having been said, they might not even be Mexican heroes because, like Chris pointed out, they were attacking something that was granted in their property, but maybe this alien or whatever it was has no idea about property lines.
You can't be too safe.
Well,
Wow.
you can, because dead.
All right.
Like the livestock in the yard, the canine showed no sign of physical damage. There were also no footprints nor any other indicators of how the carcasses managed to turn up in the middle of the field, unless, of course, they were gently set down from above. The Franciscos owned a third dog named Max, who didn't attack the radiant figure and who the young observer never saw on the night in question. Unlike the dogs recovered after their presumably extraterrestrial brouhaha, this beloved pet was never seen again.
Oh, shit. Did they just take him?
I don't know what happened to Max. That's the second mystery, the tertiary mystery.
Okay.
Like, who's the dude? How'd he kill all these animals? What was that flash of light? And what the fuck happened to Max?
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully they fucking left this guy with some nice scars. Yeah, from Good Boys.
Oh my God, just stop.
You're assuming it's a guy. I know what it was, and we'll talk about it after.
Oh, okay. All right.
Good shit.
Okay, we'll
An
see.
interesting addendum to this tale has it that within a year of the insidious incident, the Franciscos sold their home and moved away from the region. Was it coincidental, or had these entities decided to torment the beings who lived where their comrade had been attacked or perhaps even killed? Could it be that the blinding flash of light was some sort of last defense mechanism issued to this species of alien explorer, in that it not only took out the savage, implacable enemies, but ended one's own life in the process? Is that what took out the presumably innocent bunnies and birds? And would it also have taken out the sick teen had he not removed himself from the window at such a fortuitous time?
He has like a self-destruct button.
I don't know. I'm going full on
All right.
fucking Predator here. I'm doing this for you
Yeah.
because I
like
love
it.
you.
I like it.
But-
Speaking, real quick,
Go ahead.
aside, speaking of Predator, my wife and I went to that Fright Night thing, and we were walking through one of the houses, and you hear, ho, 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 this weird laugh. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Is it me?
It was a predator. The dude was in a predator suit, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's a I almost fell in love. I was like, "Oh my god, it's a predator!"
That's
Really?
awesome.
I mean, I was fucking stoked. I don't
I'm
care.
glad-
I don't
glad
think
you
I've
got
ever
to see
seen a
that.
predator. in a
No,
haunted
that's what I
house.
said. I said, I'm like, this is a haunted house. I've never seen a goddamn predator.
I would love to see a sci-fi themed haunted house. Not that I want to digress too far, but
It was
there's
cool.
a lot of cool aliens.
Yeah, there's sci-fi horror, but generally you think Halloween's just straight horror. Not
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, dude.
True.
I've never seen a predator in a haunted house until that day, and I'll never forget that goddamn day and that predator and his service to this country.
Oh my God.
Continuing on.
Jesus Christ.
There
All
it
right.
is.
So that having been said, I can't
What?
help but wonder if everything caught in the blast.
Yeah, could have been. Just
Houseflies,
all taken out.
crickets, bunnies,
Yeah,
chickens
I don't know. Man, I don't think it was a blast.
Yeah.
died.
Okay.
Not, I mean, like a flash. Everything caught in that light. Like
Right.
that
In the
light.
light, yeah.
Yeah.
The light, yeah, not an
The
explosion.
light
Because it's
signified
not explosive.
an event of some
yes,
sort.
an event of
Okay.
some sort
Yeah.
that is a life taker.
I mean, the
Heartbreaker.
dogs. Oh,
Yeah, maybe.
want to mess around with me?
or not. Yeah, there you go.
I think it's probably more a teleporter type deal.
Except
that-
they just weren't built to survive it.
Oh, that's interesting. So you think he was teleporting away, but
Yes.
but because it was only attuned to his physiology or
Yes.
DNA or whatever,
Internal damage.
that
That's why
that
there was no
everything else,
outside damage.
but everything
Oh.
else living within, I don't know, a certain. I mean, it can't be as far as light goes.
Right.
Otherwise, like the neighbors would be dead, all the fucking cows and pastures
Yeah.
would be dead.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's got to be limited somehow to say maybe 300
So, yeah,
feet.
just
I'm making up
or
numbers.
something. Whatever carbon. Maybe you have to have a certain thing.
But not plants. The plants aren't dead.
Not plants.
Okay.
Hmm.
Hey, we don't know.
All right, weird.
But I like your theory.
Okay.
Okay.
Strange.
Whether cowering at the feet of their masters while a UFO hovers overhead because it obviously senses something nefarious that we cannot, or charging headlong into a dark forest to protect their best friends, dogs will continue to be one of the greatest allies that the human race has, not only from the dangers of the all-too-real world, but from a whole host of incomprehensible things that lie beyond, perhaps waiting for the day when they can catch us alone.
Oh shit! And there it is.
So walk with your fucking dog everywhere because clearly you're fucked.
I mean,
otherwise,
dude, they're great protectors.
Yeah,
That's true.
well,
Even my dog,
yes.
who's like questionable at best, because he's a weird little pompous fox.
yeah,
Like
that's
he's
a,
still a protector.
that's a good
Like
description.
he really is a pompous little fox.
Yeah, I can see that.
he's too cool for everybody. But yeah, man, I mean, having a dog like that, especially that's going to protect you and keep you out of harm's way, and I think instinctually most dogs will do that. That's good, You got
Yeah,
dude,
dog
aliens
has to
are a
be-
thing, man.
Yeah, but you really got to be careful with fucking dogs because they also attack things that they should not.
like
Like
aliens?
people.
Oh,
Oh no,
Jesus Christ!
Jesus
what the
Christ,
fuck are you
yes.
talking about?
well, yeah, no, I mean you have to know
like
your
a lot.
You gotta know your dog well enough to know that, like Thomas, my old dog Thomas. He would growl and snip at people. He's one that I could definitely see going after somebody.
sure.
Maggie never. She was never people aggressive.
But
person
but
aggressive.
Chris's point remains the same,
Oh,
which is
100%. Yeah, no, 100%.
dogs are inconsistent carnivores,
Yeah,
and even
I
though
know.
they love us, and even though people that love dogs have
Yeah.
every reason to do so,
you gotta never
Yeah.
let your guard down.
I love dogs. I think they're amazing. I prefer cats, but I still respect and
Yeah.
appreciate all the things dogs bring to the table. And I realize they will go above and beyond
Oh fuck
in the
yeah!
vast majority of cases to make sure their loved ones are safe. But again, to Chris's point, that can also mean that they go beyond the line of duty to hurt innocent entities, as in kids or male carriers
or just other
whoever.
Yeah, I'm just saying you just got
to
to
fuck
be
them up if in
careful
the false
in that
assumption,
sense.
in
Yeah.
the false assumption that the person delivering the mail is a terrible threat
Well,
to their loved
or
ones.
any of these just random entities that clearly weren't doing anything
Yes.
malicious, seemingly just hanging
That
out.
seems like something though that like I think from the dog's perspective, they probably realize something is amiss. Like this is not normal, and that's why they probably get super
that's
protective.
the button. Going back to Esther, that badass motherfucker who was going out to check out the aliens on her own. That's the impression I get, that George was like, I get a sense there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
Now, he's not barking to them like they're standard strangers who just parked a little rectangle house on his lawn and he's
Right.
not having it. He's terrified. It gives you the impression that either maybe, I don't know if like dogs can sense earthquakes coming, if they can sense, I don't know, leaking radiation. I don't know about the tales of heroism of Chernobyl dogs, but maybe it just could sense, I don't know, just something negative, or it was so foreign that he didn't even relate to it as strangers and related to it as just pure danger.
Or just something's not right.
Yeah,
And they're
exactly.
like, this is, I've got to keep Esther away from these things.
Sure.
Even though she's like, what are you guys doing with your weird thumbs over there? And he's like, no, don't go.
Yeah, but Chris, you have to concede that dogs have senses that obviously are different
They-
from human beings,
they-
more profound in a lot of
they
aspects,
do, but
and
that's
they
still,
can indicate
it still
stuff.
doesn't necessarily mean it's malicious or not nefarious. I've seen dogs whimper and run away from fucking squirrels. And like, you know what I mean?
Right.
All right, that's fair. It doesn't.
fair.
You're right. Even if the
So-
dog has this instinct, it doesn't mean it's accurate.
They're like, yeah, they're a normal dog, but they see something like a kitten and they fucking they're just, this is weird, it's fucked up, I'm out. So, yeah,
In this case,
putting a
with,
flag there.
in this case with these stories, though, it seems that the dogs clearly are putting themselves between their human folks here and the aliens.
No, they
You know,
are,
like,
but I'm just
look.
saying that doesn't necessarily mean anything. They are doing that.
It doesn't, but
Right.
it doesn't mean that the dogs are right in focusing on this other quote unquote as a danger.
I mean,
And that's a fair assumption.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. It
yeah,
doesn't-
I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, I think generally speaking, if you have a dog, and you know, like whether it's another dog or a bobcat or a bear, they will definitely, you know, put themselves there. So.
Well, dogs are all heart and really not a lot of intellect. Not all dogs, not all the time. I know there's some people out there like, oh, this dog is off the chart smart and it'll follow your command. Of course, there's exceptions. I'm generalizing.
Well, yeah, for dogs.
Dogs are
Like,
yeah,
they're smart for dogs.
Well, sure, of course, with that caveat. But most of them react right from the gut.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys will appreciate that every time I come home and I kick my Crocs off, Leo will grab the Croc and just run away, one single Croc, and just run as far as he can with it.
See?
It just,
For what purpose?
I don't know. but
Exactly.
it's
They do things that are
it's
weird.
hilarious because he's like, no, this is mine.
I mean, cats do weird shit
And
too,
he just
but still.
fucking runs with it. It's great. I'm just like, you little bastard, give me my fucking Croc back. God damn it. Like Robin and Chris put you up to this. So the dogs that disappeared.
All right, now we're back to the last
Yeah,
case.
the third story is
Laura,
definitely the
Mexico.
fucking
The third
weird.
one is
Of
the one
course,
that, I
that's
mean,
why I saved it for the end.
The other ones are definitely interesting or whatever, but this is the one where it's like, all right, well, shit. So they clearly had this thing cornered, and they were assuming going to rip it to shreds. And weird light, and then they're found in a field, like X amount of miles, like what was it, 2 miles away or something like that?
Well, some miles
Some
down
miles
the road
away.
is all that
yeah.
was said.
So, which almost does sound like that this alien killed them, and then just left their bodies however far away. Unless, like Chris is saying, if it was they couldn't survive the teleportation or whatever. But clearly, as these things are fighting this Rorschach weird, I guess Jesus figure in the garden.
He might be messianic. He might
yeah,
not be.
like that's interesting though, because that means they had a direct contact with an extraterrestrial that killed them, which is like,
Yeah,
It's
I
fucking
mean,
weird.
they also had no outward damage, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
just
no,
like the
they didn't,
rabbits,
yeah.
and
Just
the
like
chicken.
they're just
Yeah.
fucking dead. So
So-
So
that's
you have
weird.
to presume that something and I know we went down different theories, something in
Right.
that burst of light
just took them out.
was
yeah.
able to destroy life, even if it doesn't destroy tissue.
Yeah,
And I don't know if autopsies were performed. Who knows if their insides were fucking goop and their outsides
that's what I was
were
thinking.
normal.
Like, are they just like roasted
Right,
from the
I
inside
mean,
out or
right.
something? Like, I mean, it's all those animals are dead like that, and they all have the same consistent no marks.
Mhm.
Like, that's weird. Super
It is weird.
All right.
And also, like, why if the Flash just killed him,
Right.
like the other livestock in the yard, why weren't the carcasses of the dogs lying right where they were attacking the dude in the flower bed?
Yeah, they were. The kid went out there to look, and they were gone. Plus, don't forget about Max. Max has totally disappeared. Fuck's Max.
Yeah.
He's just gone.
Yeah, Max is gone. So maybe, to go back to Chris's teleportation theory, the things were attached to him when he teleported, and they got teleported with him into the craft.
Yeah, and that's where they probably kicked the bucket. Shit.
And maybe the process, or maybe the aliens out of vengeance, or who knows why, or maybe they died during the process,
Right.
and then they were just deposited on the ground. Obviously not from a great height, because then there would have been physical damage.
Right, they would have been smashed or
like
something.
kind of gently laid there. Maybe they're
bummer.
Advanced enough to realize these things were just following their instincts. They didn't mean to hurt Beta Ray Phil, but fucking
Beta Ray Phil.
Beta Ray Phil.
My favorite.
to not coin one of my favorite Marvel characters.
Does he look like Beta Ray Bill, but like Phil Collins' face? Instead of the weird.
It looks like Beta Ray Bill's face, but with Phil Collins' hair.
Oh, dude, the Collins hair. I love it. That weird space horse. I love shit.
Space horse.
All right, cool.
So maybe they were just like, all right, so they had to die in the process. He had to teleport. He didn't want to, because they know that the teleportation process is going to cause some collateral damage.
I mean, or I think the most obvious thing here is the dogs were attacking him, and he was like, fuck this, and he has whatever death ray.
That also is a very real possibility.
And took out all the rest of the animals in the process.
It could be, but then why just dump them? Why not just leave them?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And
but then
where
again, also,
the fuck is Max?
I know this kid said he took a nap and felt better, and this happened after all that.
Of course, we got to deal
However,
with this. Yeah.
He didn't have the fucking flu. How knows what if he took anything?
Fever dreams.
Dreams.
And anybody who has glasses also knows that if you're looking at shit, light looks terrible without your glasses on.
But I mean,
and
then
it looks
again,
shit up when you have fucked up eyes anyway when you're sick.
There's
right?
a bunch of
light is weird.
Right.
You definitely get fuzzy vision when you're running a fever.
Yeah, you get like fuzzy. Your senses are kind of fucking jacked.
And if he is on cold medicine, whatever the fuck passed for it back in the 60s.
If he's just fucking lightheaded just because of the flu. But
then, there is the chance that now, that having been said, we had to broach it.
I'm trying to figure out
trampled flower bed, dead rabbits, dead chickens, dead dogs. So none of that is explained by fever dream.
No, I don't. I don't think he didn't see that stuff. I think he did,
right. But he could have misinterpreted.
Yes,
it. Right.
But it's tough to try to figure out what the fuck it was unless he saw a cow. Fucking in the flower bed, because the only thing that's got splotches.
Oh, like a Bozak humanoid, a man cow coming in with fucking
and if you just
rotating camouflage
from far away
patches.
and you're fucked up, and you're just like, some shit's got fucking patches on it. I don't know what's going on.
And the dogs are
fucking it up.
Shreds.
Yeah,
and the cow just kicks it across the field.
Oh, dude, just some poor cow getting attacked by dogs.
Yeah, no, the farmers get it with he's on a tractor and he's got his escaped cow, so you see the lights coming in.
Oh my god,
Chris is like the best.
Scoops up the fucking cow and the dogs. Sorry, they get fucked up. Take them back to his farm. And they're dead. I can't bring them back, so he just leaves them on his fucking farm. See you next week.
And if I may add an addendum,
see you next week.
He strangles the chickens and rabbits because they witnessed it all.
He killed the eyewitnesses. He's like, Mr. Bunny, you must die. You see my true nature. And he strangles the fucking bunny. Yeah.
They probably just bumped him with a tractor. They're kind of just like hit and runs.
Oh my god! Like they just crush their skulls.
I like your hit and run motion.
That's why they're just, all
right, okay.
It's all internal damage from the tractor from Farmer Rickens down the way.
Rickens down the way.
Internal tractor damage. That's a new one. I like that.
Scooped up the fuckers and took them.
Oh man, just scooping them up in the loader and be like, sorry, y'all are dead from minimal tractor or whatever.
Got my cow back.
I got my goddamn cow. Here she is.
Max saw it all. He's like, "This is fucked," and he just left. not doing this today.
Max saw it all.
Not today, Rickens.
Oh man, this poor kid. Then he has to go tell everyone, oh, by the way, yes, I know I'm the flu, the family, whatever. I'm here. I'm sick.
I'm the flu.
Yes, everybody, I'm the flu. I get it.
I'm the flu. Everyone's the dogs are fucking dead. Everybody freaked out. And on top of this, let's not remember here how this ended. The family moved away.
Yes.
Go like, this is Foxville. We're not doing this anymore. That right there might speak to just how profound this was. They're like, oh shit, this kid saw something.
Or they just moved, and it's completely coincidental.
Listen.
All right, I'm giving you this,
Profound.
though. Profound.
In impact
It makes sense.
on the family.
I'd like to think that they were continuing to be tormented.
Dude.
The Secret of Ricken's Farm. We're making it.
There it is.
It's our horror short.
Secret of Ricken's Farm. Oh, no.
He's got a cursed bulldozer.
What the fuck?
Now it's a bulldozer. It was a fucking tractor, and now it's a
say,
bulldozer.
Things evolve. Things evolve.
It does whatever
All
it
right.
wants.
All right, man. All right, Robert. Just does what it wants. It's like was it like Christine or whatever? But
Yeah.
it's a fucking loader. It's like a John Deere. All right, man. Dogs and aliens, much like dogs and monsters. I'm always pulling for the dogs. I think it's great. I'm totally pulling for the dogs, 100% every time. I get it. You know what? Maybe these aliens aren't here to fuck with us, but it doesn't matter. The dogs know that something's up, and the dogs are to protect you. There it is.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, yes
Yeah.
and no.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, yeah,
what do
right.
you got? What do you got?
I mean, beyond the dark secret of Ricken's Farms,
Yeah.
the only thing I could add to that is to say that that accidents, people firing when they're not supposed to have, created battles that should never have happened, and many deaths that might have been avoided. So, I wouldn't give carte blanche to dogs. I wouldn't say, all right, dogs, you're our first line of defense because your decision-making skills are fucking spot on, and you're going to know enemy from
Super
friend
objective
like
dogs.
that. Yeah. Until we develop them in the fucking lab, I think I'm going to be happy to have a dog with me in case shit goes down. But I'm really kind of assuming that most of the things here, all right. So the one we're not talking about a lot is the giant, the 10-foot giant. So this big silver-clad fuck, he's not bothering anybody. He's just looking in on a family. The dogs attack, the dad attacks, it vanishes. But this really could have spiraled out of control. What if this thing was angry? What if this thing was brutal? What if he took the actions of the dogs and the dad to mean that, these two species are
It's dangerous. I have to kill it.
have animosity, and goes in the house and it's just a big fat fucking bloodbath.
Right.
I think at any point though, if you're a family in a house, unless there's an enormous fucking 10-foot thing outside your house, depending on the kind of people you are, you might just be like, oh fuck this thing. We gotta protect ourselves.
No, I get it.
Because you're not gonna look at it and immediately be like, oh, it's a friend. It's
No,
here to
of
give us
course
fucking
not.
space.
Dad
hippie
grabs
shit.
the gun. I get it.
And the dog clearly was off put by it by being like, oh fuck this thing. I'm gonna eat its
Well,
feet.
yeah.
Well, again,
I'm gonna eat its
they're
feet.
not the arbiters of
Yeah.
truth.
I mean, but
dogs.
I trust the dog's instincts though.
No, dogs are attackers of trespassers. If there's one thing we should have established by now, even though I know you are going to steadfastly refuse to believe it, Mark, is that dogs are not always impeccable judges of a situation. Now, I'm giving them credit and sometimes to say that their instincts might be there, especially getting poor Esther away from a situation that she clearly either she was caught under the mesmer of aliens who seemed to be trying to avoid her, so I don't think that was the case.
Right.
Simply her own curiosity. And he was like, no. Now, maybe he was just more of a coward than her, and she could have had, I don't know, delicious pancakes or whatever aliens were serving that day. Maybe she could have had that fucking super space orgy that apparently she was dreaming of, according to you.
Yeah.
Or maybe it could have gone south. But in that case, it seemed to be George was acting protectively. In the case of the Adelaide kid, it was just a friendly dude with a jetpack, so we'll just table him completely. But in the Lopez case, it seems like that was a full-on assault for no good reason, instigated by the dog. So it's almost like the dad had to come out guns blazing because the damage had already been done. And that's why I say, in my opinion, I think we've pretty clearly established that dogs hate you when you're in their yard and they don't know you, period. They're not there to really assess your motivation.
Yeah, they're not there to reason out. They're not there to look at it and be like, well.
No, but that's what dogs do, though. That's the whole purpose.
Oh, that's fair. I'm just saying that doesn't always
Is it their whole purpose?
That's not their entire purpose, but I mean, having a dog that barks, so that intruders aren't going to be a thing, or that people don't try to break into your house, or even property wise, like to keep people off your property.
Sure.
They
do occasionally, often serve that purpose. They're also loving companions. They're also lots of different things to different people.
But they also bark at things that are like 100 yards away.
For no good reason.
Yeah, Leo does it
all
a
the
lot.
time.
Leo will sit in the window and bark at everybody and anything that goes by the window.
Yes.
And he just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
No matter what I ever
Right.
say, I'm like, Leo, fucking enough, dude. And he just doesn't care. He
I see.
doesn't.
That's most dogs I've known.
Yeah.
Our great buddy Danny
he's just
T
like, "Get
has
away
got
from
a
me."
mammoth, Saint Bernard, and she is lovable as hell. But she will bark at a sparrow, anything that goes within like 300 feet
just
of the
leaves,
house, just whatever. It is a barking frenzy. And it's just like that is not warranted.
My dog is such a pain in the ass when you walk in that he lunges at cars, and it's like, hey, buddy. Yeah, no,
That's a losing proposition.
That's like one of every 5 dog.
I have
encounter.
a harness for him, so it's like a full chest harness, so I can keep him by the back, so he can't jump because his original collar he could jump and like spin almost, and I'm like, dude, cars versus Leo always loses. Like you can't jump at cars.
So you just
ridiculous.
made the most stirring indictment for a dog's intellect right there.
The car's getting near me, like an alien could be, and he's like, fuck that, I'm going to protect Mark. Or I'm just going to try to jump at the stupid car because I'm kind of dumb.
I had 2 dogs jump at me when I was on my e-bike riding down.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
And people have their dogs like on a very long leash when they walk
down.
them.
I never do that. I
like
keep
to the fact that they're
close.
just a couple feet by the fucking road.
Yeah.
It's like
Never
your
good.
dog is looking.
Yeah.
I saw it there.
That's not good for the dog.
Right when I'm fucking by, it, like if there was a fucking car next to me and it just startled me, like I would have fucking smacked into a fucking car.
And you're putting
because of this asshole.
And you're putting the dog in the
That
bag.
sounds like I really hate dogs, but that fucking really, I'm like, get your fucking shit in control. I don't blame the dog. It's your fault.
No, but walking your dog like that is a bad idea. You should always keep control of your dog, no matter what. Always have him close to you. Never let him do that ever.
In my area is not, there's not sidewalks.
Right. No, it was the same with mine. Yeah.
And it's not. People think they can just.
Yeah. Son of a bitch. All right, Robert. Well, I mean, I'm on the side of the dogs, man. I get it,
Oh, for the record, this
There's not a
pod was
side.
not
I'm
about
just-
picking sides.
Okay, I'm
I
saying
know.
when the dog overlords come down, they're going to be like, well, Mark's kind of cool. He loves us.
Oh my God.
Ah, gotcha.
They're going to be so mad at that fucking impression that you're out. You're canceled, fucker.
I do find it interesting, though, that there are UFO cases that directly do involve dogs and their interactions
Oh, there's
with these
tons of
beings.
them.
It's
This is
really
just
cool.
Just like the
It
scraping the
sucks.
top.
It super sucks that those 2 dogs died. But
in Point Pleasant during that
Yeah.
whole debacle of the Mothman, obviously, those dogs were crushed allegedly by
Oh,
UFOs.
man.
Skinwalker
Yeah,
also
that's
has
right.
cases where orbs came down and crushed dogs.
Yeah, there's casualties. It
Son of a
happens.
Yeah.
bitch, man. God damn it.
I'm not rooting against the dogs ever. I get
No,
that they're
right.
doing what
All
they
right.
think is right.
No, all right, we're all pro dog here. I'm just more pro than others. It's fine.
I wouldn't say I'm pro, but I'm not against.
I wouldn't say.
I'd say I'm between you two.
I'm just okay. They're there. I have no problem with
I
them
can be
either.
a
Man,
rationalist.
I almost got a dog the other week. Like
Another one?
dog.
Why?
Because Leo needs a companion. He needs to have a little sister. To
It's
play
called
with.
your family, dude.
No, he needs another dog.
Okay, that's fair.
He's to the age now where he definitely needs to have another dog to have a little bit of a
That makes
hierarchy
sense.
of a pecking order. Because he has
Okay.
Nicole.
You guys are working. Kids are at
and
school
he
and
needs-
extracurriculars.
He needs
yeah.
He needs a little female.
It would be a nice
All
one.
right.
Well, why does it have to be
Female.
female? Why
Get
do you
a-
want them to
get a
be
fish.
lovers, or what are you looking for?
No, it's better for the whole dog hierarchy because then you get a female and she's going to take control of everything. Kind of like how Maggie did with Thomas. I had Thomas. He was a sketchy little fucking dog, and then I got
so
her.
you want a female to boss him around?
Pretty much, yeah.
I thought you were trying to give fucking Leo the upper hand.
No, he needs to have a little bit of he needs a little control in his life.
That makes sense.
I think having a female
Get a lady
dog-
friend to fucking put the
Yeah,
collar on him, so
That's
to
right.
speak.
And then just kind of hang out, be cool, and I can finally get another pitbull. I'll be happy.
Oh my
again.
gosh.
So there
Oh,
you go.
boy.
Yeah, there it is.
Dog's kennel here.
Named Taro.
Oh well, I do like it. I know
we'll-
Nick doesn't like Ultraman names, but come on.
We'll have Leo and then
She
we'll have
doesn't.
Taro. No, she's just not. She's not having it at all.
I think Taro's a great name.
I think Taro's awesome. There you
Sorry,
have
Nick.
it. Dogs versus aliens worldwide. Thank y'all so very much for joining us. The Cryptonaut podcast. We never actually give the locations of.
Yeah,
you,
I
you
have
always
it.
write them.
Always put them at the top, just because that's how I always did articles for American Monsters and Cryptopia.
Yeah.
But no, that's not even meant to be used because I write about it in context.
No, well there it is. We fucking mentioned it worldwide.
Jeez Louise.
Boom. There.
That was
you
me being
have
lazy,
it.
by the way.
Oh, yeah, I guess we could have put the locations in. But whatever, it's fine. Patreon, check it out. Patreon.com/Cryptonaut Podcast. Coming up, we do have a movie night. We will be watching Prince of Darkness, and that will be on Friday, August 21st, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. Discord server. If you're on the Patreon, you have access to the Discord. Hook it up there. do that. We're on the socials, boys. The Instas and the Twitters and the Facebooks. We're all on the Instas.
Mhm.
We're all there.
Yeah, that's true.
Check us out there. The merch, there's merch. You can buy things
There is.
from places that we get a kickback from when you buy them, like a cut, hellerspace.com or cryptonautmerch.com.
Wow.
2 different stores, 2
Yeah.
different exclusive items. Ooh, exclusives.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. I'm
Settle down.
We have some more designs going up on cryptonautmerch.com. I actually need to send you guys a couple of final ideas I have, so we can hopefully get those up in time for, I guess, the Christmas season, right? Because that's around the corner, even though Halloween hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah.
All right, it's fine. Whatever.
I don't want to
I know
talk
it
about
sucks. It sucks, but
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
just,
it's October 3rd, but it's smart to plan ahead.
if you consider October, November, it's right there.
I know.
It's all.
No,
right
I know
there.
it's a 3-month
I know,
thing.
it sucks. I hate it. I hate it
seems like
too.
it, yeah.
I'm just gonna live in Halloween the rest of the year. I don't care.
Of course.
I'm gonna live in Halloween to the Super Bowl, and then after the Super Bowl, I'm gonna continue Halloween.
You should.
So then you just can. Why'd you even bring up the Super Bowl?
Because I extended.
Are you gonna have one day of abbreviation of
No, because-
Halloween celebration to celebrate football?
Because of football season, I extended my year. Remember, from July, it's no longer July to October, it's July to Super Bowl.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fair.
But it involves more pumpkins now.
That's
And the
also
Buffalo
fair.
Bills.
That's okay.
There you go. See how that works?
I'm super happy about
I mean, I have a longer year now
yay.
before I have to hibernate and get other stuff done. So there you have it.
Oh man. All right.
I think that's everything actually for the closing. Thank
Yeah,
you all for your
think you
continued
nailed it.
support. Thank you all for tuning in weekly and checking us out. And sponsors, we have sponsors. Last month we had BetterHelp. I think we still have BetterHelp ads going on, and we had Lumi Labs going on too, with those cool edibles that they sent us, which we've all tested
Enjoyed,
out
yes.
to see. We all have had different experiences with them, which
That's
is
true.
kind of
That is
funny.
true.
Rob apparently can't calm down on them. He's just too fucking
I wouldn't
wired.
say it riles me up but I don't sleep well. That's for sure.
Oh,
it's
man,
weird 'cause it
But I
helps
get a
you
lot of
sleep well.
writing done. I know
I-
you guys, it puts you out. For me, I'm like,
Not
let's
probably-
do this.
It doesn't make me like
Dude.
drowsy, but like when I go to sleep, I sleep better.
Dude, I take one of those
fair enough.
edibles
One of those
and I
things,
do
like-
not wake up. Like, I get up at, I sleep a full, solid fucking 8 hours. I'm
Yeah,
just
I get
down
a
and I'm
solid
done.
sleep too. It's pretty dope.
It's awesome, and there's no weird hangover or anything. So we got sponsors, and thank you all out there that support us through our sponsors. It's huge. It comes back to us in a really big way, which is super cool.
Yes, thank
So,
you.
and yeah, Lumi Labs and BetterHelp. Thank you for your sponsorship of the show. So there you have it. Thank you all so very much. And that was a rambling mess, but we'll be talking to you soon.
That's all right.
I have something in my eye, and I feel like it's going to fall out.
Yeah.
Oh, my
My
God.
whole eye is going to fall out.
That is not good.
I don't know what it is.
You got to deal with this.
Hopefully it's not poop.
Is it the thing Baby Superman came to Earth in the Dawn of Superman?
Just
you
all
have that in
points
your eye?
and crystal.
That's what it feels
That's what
like.
I picture in my head.
Dude,
Like,
I don't know.
yeah.
I guess if I
Like,
do
it's so big. Oh.
if I do imagine, I guess having like a fucking kidney stone in your eye, I guess is what it might be.
Oh
I
my
don't know what
God.
it is, but I swear to God, it feels like my fucking eye's gonna fall out. I've been bailing this thing all day. It's probably some stupid lash just sitting in there. I flushed my eyes. I've done everything.
No matter how tiny it is, it feels colossal.
Tune in next week to see if I still have an eye. We'll be talking to you.
Wow.
Tune in next week.
Tune in.
The cliffhanger.
Tune in next week. Okay, bye.
See ya.